So, sometime 6 years ago, the folks at Epic Games purchased Twinmotion from the folks at Advent, and ever since then, this tool has had significant updates, and it's quite interesting to see that Epic Games have taken this tool to greater heights, from the reworking of the UI all the way to introduction of megascans, introducing various datasmith connections, integration of Sketchfab, and also the amazing introduction of Adobe Substance 3D set of assets and more asset. Twinmotion is looking extremely amazing, and all of these features have simply transformed Twinmotion into a 3D visualization powerhouse, as it handles both architecture, product design visualization, automotive, and so much more. And with version 2025, Epic Games have yet again set the bar with a set of cool and impressive features that are now available for Twinmotion users. And of course, for those who like to explore this, or possibly you like to download this, you can simply go over to the link in the description that will bring you right here, where you can download the Epic Launcher, and once you have that installed, you can simply go through and install Twinmotion. And so, Twinmotion 2025 now comes with an amazing set of features, which includes Nanite, Parallax Windows, 3D grass materials, static motion blur, camera sync with Twinmotion, exploder animators, viewport modes, and so on. And today, we're going to simply walk through and talk about these and more cool features that are now available with Twinmotion 2025.2. And with that said, let's dive right into it. And one of the cool features that are now available with Twinmotion 2025.2 is the introduction of Nanite. Now, Nanite is an amazing technology developed by the folks at Epic Games, and this simply makes it possible for you to be able to import film quality 3D models with millions of polygons and have them render smoothly in real time without tanking performance. And having this in Twinmotion makes it even easier for creators to be able to now import high quality dense 3D models and get them run smoothly inside Twinmotion. And how this works is very simple. So in this case, we have high resolution meshes that we've downloaded of Sketchfab, and for you to actually see if these are high quality dense meshes or not, luckily with Twinmotion 2025.2, you can now preview your mesh in various modes. First off, we've got the default mode, then we've got the unlit mode, which is something I think a lot of creators would like to use, especially if you like to just see what the quality looks like prior to lighting. And then we've got wireframe. Now with the wireframe, you can see that the meshes that we have here are high dense meshes. So meshes like these may throttle performance because, they're very high quality stuff. And you can also notice that something like this also exists. Now, where Nanite comes in very handy is it only renders what needs to be seen at a specific time. And for you to actually see Nanite in action, what you need to do is to go ahead and have the model or the mesh you like to convert to Nanite selected, and you can simply go all the way down to where you have Nanite. From here, you can click on Enable, and once you click on Enable, you can apply Nanite, and automatically this would convert that particular mesh or the set of meshes that you've selected into Nanite. In our case, we do have the statue with 4 different parts, and we're simply going to enable Nanite for all of them and apply those. And once we have that ready, we can now preview our mesh in the Nanite triangles. And so this is what it looks like from this distance. And if we zoom all the way out, it only renders what we need to see at a specific time. The closer we get, the more Nanite triangles we're going to be seeing. And the farther away we get, it simply just renders what needs to be seen at a given time. You will also notice that the meshes that have not converted to Nanite do not have Nanite triangles. So we can actually go ahead and do the same thing for all of them. And if we like to preview our meshes based off Nanite, we can also go ahead and do that. One other thing that you might also notice is you can convert your entire scene to Nanite. So for example, if you've got foliages like this, or maybe you've got trees, and maybe you want to convert them to Nanite, that is also something that is possible because you can simply have them selected, go all the way down to where you have convert all to Nanite, and convert all of them to Nanite. Now, there is no guarantee that converting every single thing you have in your scene to Nanite will actually get your PC to perform better, but it is one of those things to keep in mind when you're considering reducing the workload on your computer when you're bringing in high quality or high dense meshes in your scene. The implementation of Parallax Windows in Twinmotion 2025.2 makes creating scenes even easier. So with this new version, you will be able to work with Parallax Windows, and this includes offices, residential, retail, and so on. And best part, you can pick as many of these and place them wherever you want in your scene. And this supports the 3 basic transform types that exist with Twinmotion, which include scaling, positioning, and rotation. And this means that you can drag in any of the parallax panels that you want and place them how you choose in your scene, making visualizing your ideas in Twinmotion easier. So instead of making 3D models or looking for 3D assets that you can use to set up simple things like gym, retail stores, or even office spaces, you can now rely on these to get things done faster. And this also comes with its own set of parameters too. As with the parameters, you'll be able to play with the texture exposure, the night exposure, night life simulation, twinkle, and also glass, as glass simply makes the panels look more three-dimensional. And of course, you can play with the specularity however you choose, and you can choose to turn on weather or not. More so, there are additional options for calling left, right, and also both sides of the panel. Additionally, if you like to see what this looks like in the nighttime, you can simply go over to the environment setting and play with the sun time of day. And this automatically activates the night mode that the Parallax Windows comes with. And for sure, if you like to make some customization, possibly you like to reduce the intensity of the brightness or emission that this actually has, you can also go ahead and do all of that. At the same time, you can tweak and play with how you like the tinting of the lighting to be. And for what it is, this is also another great addition to Twinmotion, as it will definitely make modeling or even setting up scenes easier. And by the way, how you find this and get it working is by simply going over to Object, going all the way down to where you have Parallax Windows, and you can select from any of the list of the Parallax Windows that exist right here and start setting up your scene. Fog cards is also another cool and interesting feature now available in Twinmotion 2025.2, and these can be gotten by simply going over to your library, go to Objects, go all the way to where you have VFX, and from here you will see you've got fog cards. Previous versions introduced confetti, fire, smoke, and the typical fog and water. And this new release now comes with fog cards, which you can use to simulate the idea of fog being in your scene. So you can load in as many of these ones as possible, and this is amazing. The fact that this is fully animated and you can tint this the way you want, play with the density, work with the scale, and also give this an emissive color, especially if you like this to actually create some sense of emission in the night, makes it a wonderful addition to this version of Twinmotion, as most creators would want to set up a scene where fogs actually play a huge role, and having these inside of Twinmotion 2025.2 makes their work super easy. Another impressive feature which is now available with Twinmotion 2025.2 is the static motion blur. And the static motion blur is an amazing new feature which allows creators to be able to create blur on any object of choice. And how this one works is pretty easy. Within the tools library, you'll find the static motion blur, and you can simply select both the linear and the circular one to get things going. And how this works is as easy as creating an object, parenting the object that you want under the linear blur. And once you have that, you can choose to move the parent of the linear blur however you want, scale this if you want, rotate it, or even play with the intensity to get more blur. At the same time, you can use the circular blur to also create the same effect. You can also choose to invert the blur. Say for example, you've got multiple objects in your scene which you like to have as blurred, but then there is a specific object that you don't want to blur. All you need to do is to simply select either the linear or the circular blur and invert it once it's enabled. And that way the child object remains in focus, and this can be done with literally every object that you have inside of Twinmotion. Twinmotion 2025.2 also ships with an exploder tool, and this now allows creators to visualize various parts of their model and also create an amazing animation of exploding the model or even bringing all of them together, as this is pretty interesting to demonstrate how elements for either an architectural project or product design gets to be put together. And how this works is very simple. In this case, we do have a motorbike, and what we can do is to make this motorbike the child of the exploder. Now, if your models come in as a group, it is worth mentioning that you ungroup them and then select all of the individual parts that you like to explode and make them the children of the exploder. And once you do that, you'll be able to simply play with the animation duration and control these however you want and get that exploding effect. And like we mentioned earlier, this is definitely going to be super useful if you like to explode a particular object and see them in various forms, as these also comes with a good number of presets which you can play with and get some extremely nice looking results. And depending on how you like to explode your models, you can simply take advantage of the preset alongside all of the parameters that this now comes with and get some impressive looking result. And I believe a lot of creators would love this. And when we speak about animators, the translators and rotators have also gotten some updates. And this is pretty cool, especially for those who like to create that sort of phasing effect or cascading effect that they would like to use to move objects around inside their scene. As these comes with presets, of course, which you can work with, but the best part is you can simply layer these things however you want, and this will be great for those who like to simply create reveals, or possibly those who like to use the new updated versions of the configurators to create that assembling effect. So whether you're thinking about using translators or rotators, you can now simply do some amazing cool stuff with the new animation tools that currently exist. And for those who might be wondering if configuration can be used with Exploder tool, this is also super possible. So in this case, we already have the bike which we worked with earlier, and we can simply create a configuration that deals with a property state, and then we can proceed to play back our animation, get it where we want it to be, and we can go back to our configurator and create another state for properties. And this makes it easier for you to now simply use the configuration tool to control how you want your explosion to be, or possibly if you want to use this for a presentation, this now comes in super handy. Surprisingly, there's a very cool feature which is now available in Twinmotion, and this is the 3D grass material. Normally, you get to find your grass within your vegetation all the way to where you have grasses and flowers, and then you find a couple of grasses that you can use the populate tool to simply start populating. But with version 2025.2, there is a very tiny update which deals with materials, and more specifically 3D grass material. So if you simply go over to the material section, scroll all the way down, you would notice 3D grass. So once you have that selected, you can now apply this as a material on any of the surfaces that you have. So in this case, I can just simply drag and drop this onto that surface, and automatically it will start populating grasses right on top of this. Now I think that this is working with an alpha map, which is making it super possible, but for what it's worth, this is definitely going to come in super handy for a lot of creators. This actually takes some time to load, but once it's loaded, it is very cool and clean. So from here, you can see that we have all the grasses looking pretty nice, and we can simply go ahead and start working with things like this. Something else which you would also notice with this is, depending on how far out you are, this is not going to render real grasses. So the closer you are, the more likely that you'll be getting high quality grasses. And this is, I think it is built for optimization, or built with optimization in mind. So just in case you're thinking about getting nice, cool looking grasses in Twinmotion, possibly something that wouldn't throttle your performance, then I think this new feature is definitely the way to go. The 3D grass material doesn't only come with the default material type, you can also play with the custom versions and see some nice presets that exist. So for example, we would like to add some field poppies. We can populate our scene with field poppies and take a look at what it looks like. And in certain cases, you might want to just simply throw some weeds, some clovers, or maybe some daisies. You can literally go ahead and select any of the ones that you want and use them to populate your scene. Additionally, you can also play with the appearance of what you have. There's also some scaling value, which you can use to play with how the scaling would look like. You can also play with the cut, the fuzziness, and also the spawning angle. There is more stuff that you can also do with this, which includes the accent meshes, and this particular one also deals with the type of meshes that you like to work with. And in terms of color, if you're thinking about stylizing this, it is also possible, because at this point you can now go ahead and tint the grass with any of the desired colors that you want. We can also play with the amount of tint, maybe bring that down if we want, and crank that up if this is something we're going for. We can play with the dryness, or we can simply make this pretty wet, and we can go all the way down and also play with the color variation and throw in some mowing patterns if this is something we're super optimistic about. And speaking about materials, if you simply go over to the materials section, you would notice that there is a tiny bit of a rework that has been done here. And this includes that you can now simply remove all unused material from the material dock, and you can now create a new folder where you can dedicatedly put some materials in. At the same time, you can now click on the plus button to add a standard material, and if you click right here, you can add any of the other materials that you would like to work with. Other than that, Twinmotion now comes with a camera synchronization with direct link connection and data smith file import. And this simply means that users can align both their active DCC viewport cameras and save DCC cameras with the Twinmotion viewport camera. And what that simply means is, if you set up a scene with a couple of cameras in your DCC app, you'll be able to find them in Twinmotion, and where you find them is within the media section. So instead of realigning your cameras from what you've done already in your DCC app, when you move over to Twinmotion, you'll be able to find all of those camera positions that you've saved right here within the media section. And if you're into virtual production, you can now connect Twinmotion to the Unreal Engine VCam app for both iOS and Android and use that to position your camera and have a good view of what your renders would look like. A few more updates now includes that within the XYZ panel input slider, you can now simply click and drag your mouse left and right to adjust the value. There's also the custom LUT support, which I think a lot of people would love to work with if you do have a .cube file, as this would help you create some nice looking effects that you possibly might want depending on the kind of lookup table file that you currently have. Speaking about looks, the advanced post-processing effect has also gotten a rework to offer much more greater and flexible improvement for visual quality. Other than that, we're getting batch exports, selection outline updates, and with version 2025.2, we now have the material multi-drop tool. So this is it. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, subscribe if you haven't, and of course if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.